When I first reached out to Melisa, I was about 1 year into having my own independent consulting business. I was doing pretty well, I thought, but I was kind of just winging it. So I didn't really know what I didn't know. And I got to the point where I realized I needed some actual business processes in place. Like I was working with enough clients, I had things coming my way, but it was sort of like, well, how do I manage this? What do I do with it? And I knew that there were some things on the soft side, like mindset issues, feeling confident as a business owner, some of those things that I really wanted to get in and tackle, but I knew I couldn't figure it all out on my own. I didn't think I was going to get what I needed from reading a book. And I knew Melisa kind of socially through the consulting circles that I was running in. And so I reached out to her and said, hey, I need some help. Help me out here. And that's how we kicked things off. So I knew that I was good at the pieces that I was good at. I know I'm really good at corporate communications. I know I'm really not savvy when it comes to financial processes. I'd been in corporate my entire career, so this was all very new to me. Flying by the seat of my pants was kind of the way I was handling things, and very reactive, right? So it's kind of like whack-a-mole. Like an issue would pop up and then I was like, okay, well, I'll just put out this fire or I'll put it on the back burner and I'll figure out how to deal with this later. And so that will get you through to a point. But when you want to kind of enhance your expertise as a business owner, when you want to be taken seriously because you take yourself seriously and kind of elevate where you are, I knew that she was good. And I knew people who had worked with her, and I think we had an introductory call or just like a friendly chat in the past, maybe when I was first kicking off and just kind of meeting people. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind too, that this is somebody that I might click with. And so when we did kind of the next introductory call, it wasn't even just that we clicked. It was like we had a lot in common too. So I knew she was going to understand where I was coming from, that, I don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. I know I'm making mistakes and I want to be better. But I don't know how to do that. Working with Melisa was really like picking up the phone and chatting with a friend. And I felt like I could really kind of unload on her all of the things that I was dealing with. And she wasn't going to look at me like I was crazy or like I was a failure, just kind of very able to bring me back down to earth and say like, okay, well, let's take a step back and talk through what's really happening here and what are the places where you can start to solve. Like if you did this action, what do you think would happen? If you did this action, what might happen? I tend to think very quickly. I tend to be very reactive. And she was kind of like that voice of reason to say like, hold up, you know more than you think you know, and you can figure this out. So let's talk it through. So what I found since working with Melisa is that I've been able to approach the business with a more intentional mindset. And, I've been able to build my pipeline. I've been able to cultivate more relationships and stronger relationships in my network. I've been able to help people out who've reached out to me who are like, I'm just getting started. What do you think I should do? And I can do that from a place of like, hey, I was there a year ago and here's what I've learned and here's what I can share. So I really feel like I'm able to pay it forward at the same time while growing my level of expertise and growing my own business. So I'm really glad that I reached out to Melisa when I did. I'm glad I didn't wait and try to continue figuring things out as I went along, because working with her really felt like working with a friend who was going to help me and who wanted to help me succeed. And I think just having her in my corner really helped me feel like I wasn't in this alone. I wasn't, going to fail. She had my back at every step of the way. And if I felt like unsure about something, she was going to be there to help build me up and help get me through whatever I was struggling with at the moment. And I think especially as someone who's early on in this process, that's really given me the tools to help me propel and feel like this could be a real long-term strategy for my career, not just something that I'm doing for the short term to bridge into another corporate job.